Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Comedy, the podcast that helps you find new, emerging, and undiscovered independent comedy podcasts. I'm Greg, the host and curator of comedy. Today's episode is from Bad Movies Rule. On Bad Movies Rule, they roast and review movies the critics despised, and sometimes discover they're actually amazing. If you like today's episode, make sure to check out the episode description for links to subscribe. All right, let's get this show started.
Begin.
Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today we're going to ask the question, can you fly, sucker?
Nice.
The answer is no.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Oh, you spoiled the whole movie.
Movie spoiled.
Not until the third one, right?
Welcome in, guys. Welcome back into Bad Movies Rule. And today we've got a special guest with us.
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, it's special when you're here, but you know, it's not as special as when Stephanie's here.
All right.
Oh,
I'll
thanks.
give it to her.
Yeah.
100% fact.
We've been using your husband just to get you on the show.
It's true.
That's okay. I've been using him this whole time, our whole 10-year relationship for this moment.
Perfect. For those of you who have heard Ryan Farrell on the previous episodes, I think the last one he did was Maximum Overdrive. Stephanie is his wife. So we have like the couple action going on in here. Does that mean we have to have all of our wives on the show now?
Nope.
No.
I do know Kurt's wife started a wife podcast group
Oh,
on Facebook for us to message each other.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And she named the group Bad Wives Rule.
Whoa.
That's hysterical.
Did my wife get an invite?
I don't. Okay. All right.
As far as I know, everybody's
I'm pretty
invited to that. I
positive,
know.
yeah.
Weird. She
That's
has
cool.
said nothing about this.
Well,
Well, they weren't supposed to, apparently.
so really it's just a chat with you and Nikki in it.
Oh,
then.
I just exposed all secrets.
Perfect. Well, we're happy that Steph's here today, and also joining us, Mr. Kurt Mummer. Kurt,
Hi.
got your He-Man shirt on
I
today.
do. Yeah, this is the Battle Armor He-Man shirt.
I wish it would flip around though, and
and then
you know,
show some battle damage.
some battle damage.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
like the figure did.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I don't know, that's an expensive shirt.
It's Joe Goratowski Day, and
Okay.
now I'm trying to make it more special.
that's good. No,
You know.
that's all right. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're
I don't
good.
have to make it special.
No, you don't
Okay,
have-
good.
yeah.
Joe's here
I'm
too.
here.
And we're talking about Tremors today because Stephanie wanted to talk about.
Yes.
You had it down to two movies.
I did.
It was this or Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, and we went with Tremors. So here we are. And I guess we should probably also talk a little bit about our background, because our background goes back, but not just because we know your husband. In fact, knew you before that. Stephanie made a movie with us back in 2009.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned a few times.
Such a long.
What movie was that?
in the
it's
13 years
Hold on a
ago.
second.
I don't
What was
remember.
it? It was
It's
like
about some weird guy in a skin tight suit. I don't really know much more than that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
That's almost what we called it.
Skin tight suit
Skin
man.
tight suit man.
Welcome, skin tight suit man.
That could be a
it's-
horror movie.
It is Mummer Man. We've been talking about the 100th episode of BMR. We're going to talk about Mummer Man. So you've got to come back for the 100th episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're going to have, 8 people in this room
Yeah.
to talk about that. So
If not more.
If
We
not
will
more.
all, I'm sure, fit very comfortably in
Right.
here.
Right. And unfortunately, we couldn't get Bob also in here today because you have a special relationship with Bob dating
Yes.
back to Mummer Man
He has basically beaten me up our entire relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in several movies.
several times.
Yep.
Sometimes
Perfect.
realistically,
Just, you're
not
a
acting.
punching bag.
What's-
You know?
What's happening is every time one of us makes a movie, go, man, we need somebody for Bob to beat up in
Yeah.
this movie. Who are we going to call?
Stephanie. And I'm here for it.
And
I
it's
enjoyed
worked.
it.
Because most people can't.
Concussions fade, friendships last.
That's right.
That's true.
Most people can't hang with Bob in a fight scene because he doesn't know how to pull punches ever.
No, he doesn't.
The fact you can hang with Bob in fight scenes has everything that we need to know about you, Steph. And why Tremors? We got to ask that question.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Why this movie?
Because it's just a great movie. This is one of my favorites growing up, and it's just one of those movies that I've
Okay.
watched since I was a child.
It hooked
that-
you young.
It basically was the movie that made my mom worried about my movie choices. growing up.
What is she watching?
Yeah,
in there?
wondering why I wanted to rent that movie every weekend. It's a great movie.
Calls your dad.
But
Honey,
it's
she
all-
asked for Tremors again.
Yeah.
Should we call the doctor?
Therapy.
We should probably call the doctor. I don't know.
Yes. So
Do we all have that movie? Do you have that movie?
That my parents were
Yeah,
worried. Well,
and they were like,
all my dad. No, my mom.
No.
Yes, my dad was the one who was like, "How old is he? Let him watch Die Hard." I
Yeah.
gotta, you know,
Yeah.
what are you 8? You're fine.
Yeah.
So, which is exactly why Bob was watching that stuff at, you know, Halloween when he's 5 years old or whatever it was,
Sure.
right? Which is why he's the way he is. You know?
that explains so much.
Well, I don't want to get too far into this without explaining some of the vitals, just so everybody can get the particulars about Tremors. And then we'll get into, because I'm interested to hear your guys' history with it too as well. This movie was directed by Ron Underwood. I didn't know who that was, but he's made a couple of movies that I really liked before, right?
Yeah.
Like literally a year after this was City Slickers.
Yeah.
And then Hearts and Souls. And then I think Meet Joe Black or Meet Joe Young, Mighty Joe Young, whatever. There's like, I
Yeah.
just combined like 3 movies together.
You did.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
I've seen one of
Mighty
those.
Joe Black.
Whatever, all of them.
Mighty Joe Black Young.
And then he just had some bombs. Like he directed like Adventures of Pluto Nash and so like Santa Baby, the Jenny McCarthy Santa Claus
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
And now he only is allowed to direct television episodes. That's when
He has been deemed in the box.
he's only been doing TV.
Well, when
ever
the top
since.
of your career is Tremors,
He had a nice run. He went 1-2. And I don't know how he got this job because if you look at before Tremors, he did like after school specials and then Tremors. And that was it. Like just straight out the gate.
Some after school specials are amazing, though.
Yeah, it was like those don't do drug PSAs and that Nancy Reagan funded in the 80s.
This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah,
Like
that
the
kind of
whole
stuff.
egg in the frying
And-
pan.
Right, but like
What?
and then
You
he-
okay?
and then he made Tremors to say
right.
don't do drugs.
that's what I'm saying. It was the longer ones though, the ones they'd have you watch in school. It was like Kirk Cameron was in them, and
Yeah.
it was just like, you know, I'm worried about you, man. I noticed you've been smoking the marijuana and you know all that stupid stuff. Those were great.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would just have a super cut on YouTube of all. They probably do. Everything's on there.
Drink
of all
milk.
those.
Don't be a dick.
The movie was written by some old friends of the show, S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, along with Ron Underwood, the director. Now, those are the 2 guys that teamed up to write Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But they also did Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Also on the list.
True.
Not done yet, but on the list.
Heart and Soul. Ghost. I mean, come on. Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad.
That was that gem right there.
Right. This is why
He's doing TV.
he's doing TV now. He hitched his cart
there's
to the
2.
wrong wagon. All right. The movie stars Kevin Bacon, which I think is his first Kevin Bacon movie we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think. Fred Ward, Finn Carter, Michael Gross, a.k.a. the dad from Family Ties, and Reba McEntire herself. Usually we have certain parameters as to how a movie gets on here. And if you look at the ratings of everything, there's no way it should be on this podcast because there's a 7.1
Yeah.
on IMDb.
It made 16 million, right? Off of it.
It lost money though.
Well, yeah. It didn't make enough
Yeah. So
in the box office.
that's the only box it checks for us is the box
Okay.
office
Yep,
bomb
Exactly.
because the budget was $10-11 million.
Yep.
It made 16 and you think, well, that's a profit, but they only get half of that. Half it goes to the movie theaters. So really it made $8 million and they spent 10 or 11 on it. So they went underwater on it. Now, obviously, once it hit VHS,
It just blew up.
it blew up and they made their money.
yeah,
But
exactly.
as far as the box office goes, and it's got an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 75% audience score, which means 1 out of 4 people don't like the movie. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll find out
one of us has to not like it.
who it is that doesn't like the movie. We'll see.
This
But
guy right here.
I'm guessing, Kurt. He had never seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
that's
gotta
true.
say,
That's
he'd
true.
never
That's true.
seen it, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
And well, our friendship hangs in the balance.
usually, if you don't, a movie like this, you don't catch young. You go back to it as an adult. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't want to spoil the ending, but we'll find out. I'm excited to see.
That's a teaser.
But yeah. So so this is your first time. Do you have the history that Stephanie has with it?
Yes. I've seen this about 20 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Big fan of the movie.
I'm somewhere in between you guys and you guys. I think this is probably the 3rd time I've seen it.
Okay.
I think I saw it like in the late 90s once, maybe a couple times since. That's about it, right? So, you know, we were all coming from much different backgrounds in this thing, which I really like.
Well, and
What's that grin on your face for?
Oh, I was
I wish I could experience Tremors for the first time.
it was funny
It's an
because
emotional experience.
If you get beat up by Bob hard enough, you could.
That's true.
So I'm sorry.
When Steph and I were talking about it, we were trying to work out maybe a schedule, to see it together.
Okay.
Just so it could be one of those like, I want to see you watch it the first time.
Yeah.
I ended up watching it, but, without giving anything away, I feel like the best way I could describe this movie was it's like Beetlejuice meets Dumb and Dumber.
What?
I just with the sandworms.
That makes no
and
sense.
then the two buddies are through the whole movie. That's how I looked at it.
in this so much.
It's a comedy horror.
Okay. In so much as there also was worms in Dumb and Dumber.
Well, there was, I got worms.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah, I got worms.
No, more of the sandworms from Beetlejuice.
Got
That's just what I thought.
I was thinking
of
more
a lot.
of Dune is what I thought of.
I
when
never
s-
seen Dune, so
Okay.
I guess that's why I
They've got
couldn't compare
giant-
to that.
very similar worms in
Yeah.
Dune.
I'm thinking it's like a combination of Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, Boyfriend School, and Megaforce.
It sounds like you
Yeah.
don't like the movie. I think you're
no,
the one
that's
in
Ace
exactly
Force.
Ventura 2.
Yeah,
It's getting kind of hot in this graboid.
exactly. Yeah, that's.
Oh God.
I just picked 3 random movies. And that was it.
Oh, okay. But it's about as accurate. So
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I still felt it was pretty good though.
It was. And for those of you who are brand new to the show, this is kind of how it goes. We talk through the vitals, and we're going to walk through the plot step by step. So even if you haven't seen the movie, you can come along and get an idea of what it's about and live vicariously through Kurt as he travels through this for the first time ever.
It's like the Kurt show today.
Just want you to
Yes.
do us
About time.
a favor. Whatever podcast app you listen on, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of the other myriad ones that are out there, if they allow for a review, drop us a review. Every 5-star review we get helps us with the algorithm, get us pushed out to more people. Also, if you want to interact with the show, if you want to talk to us, the best way to do that is through our email address. You can email the show, suggest movies, ask questions, and that email address is thisshowis trash@gmail.com. And as always, we're accepting hate mail for Bob. Those submissions are always open.
Bob only.
Only, please. No matter how good or bad Steph does, we don't want any hate mail for Stephanie.
Yeah.
Okay. Just say that right now. In fact,
I'll
you'll be
take the heat
fired
for
from listening to the show.
Yeah, I'll take the heat. If you gotta send something, just send it to me.
That's
I
right.
got thick skin as well.
And
Do
then
it.
he just won't tell me.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Just erase Stephanie, write Joe. And,
Yes.
and it'll be fine. Also, and for our diehards, if you'd like to join us on Patreon, for as little as $3 a month, you can have access to bonus recordings. You can vote in polls to decide future episodes. You can even have your own awards picked and read on the show as well. And that's at patreon.com/badmoviesrule. All right, y'all. What's going on over there?
Nothing.
We always like chit chat while you do your little your intro stuff. Yeah,
The spiel.
The
we played
spiel.
rock paper scissors once
Yeah.
and
Oh, who won?
thumb wars.
He
I want to see a thumb war right now between the two of you. Let's go.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
for I declare a thumb war.
We got 2
Go.
like
Good
massive
Lord.
thumbs, dude. Look
You're-
at this.
Oh my God, it's a
Your
couple
thumb is-
couple of graboids.
I know. Their thumbs
okay,
are, their thumbs are
for,
massive.
you're in the audio medium
Your
here. 1,
thumb looks
2,
like a big
3.
toe.
Boom.
Good Lord.
Boom.
I'm sorry, I set you up for failure there with Joe's
Thank
giant
you.
fists.
Yeah, they're like true.
He's got some meat though.
These
I'm
things.
not
I
gonna-
have
you know.
small hands for my size.
You think so?
I would lose.
To a graboid for sure.
Sure.
And Joe,
100%.
which is basically the same thing.
I'm not
Yep.
Kevin Bacon.
I'm not underwater. Under earth.
All right, so let's dive into this
doesn't make any
movie,
sense.
you guys. This is the second movie we've had that has started with the guy peeing.
Yeah, that's great.
I was going to say everything you need to know about this movie is the opening scene where Kevin Bacon's pissing off a cliff.
Well, and when they cut back, it looks
Yeah.
like he whizzed a river.
Yeah.
Good Lord. He's
Hey,
got
man.
a lot going on.
They drink a lot of coffee. He went back over there, jingled the coffee. It was
You got yourself a graboid there,
it was
mister.
gone.
That's how he defeats them.
That's how he knew. That's how he knew. But yeah, so Waterworld was the other one that started with Kevin Costner taking a leak off the side of his boat.
What's with Kevin's peeing?
You're right. Now we've had double Kevins
Peeing.
peeing.
Peeing specifically.
Opening scenes.
All right. Well, we have to do the beginning thing. So with this movie is meet the characters, right? That's what they spend the first 10 minutes of the movie doing.
Well,
okay?
that's where I kind of started like the thought of Dumb and Dumber because it's
Okay.
just like you see two guys that seem like buddies and it starts out like kind of a buddy comedy.
yeah, no,
That's
it is.
kind of how I took it.
But they're
you know,
not-
with the whole like stampede, like, oh, wake up. Like they're a couple of,
But they're not quite.
like they've known each other a
They're
long
not
time.
idiots.
They're not nearly as dumb as Lloyd and Harry.
Yeah, but they're still,
Yeah, but then there's one who thinks he's like the smart one.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. So
That's true.
Neither
I
of
kinda
them
looked
are
at it.
quite
They're
there.
just a couple of goons that are buddies
Well,
together. and
can't nail a staple into a post. That's for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Missed it so many times.
Nicknamed
I
him
was like-
Lightning. Never strikes the same place twice, but makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, so I guess, I really like the dynamic between Fred Ward and
I did too.
Kevin Bacon in this.
Yeah.
I believed it.
100%.
Big age gap between the two of them, I think. I think one of them was, Fred Ward at that point had to be well into his 40s.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are these two guys? And they live together, it seems like.
Yeah, it looked like on their property they had like 2 different campers. One was his and one was, what is it, Val and Earl?
But they're going to move out together.
Right. They're going to
Later
go,
on.
Yeah, leave at the same time and go keep the business going.
I got more of a Jay and Silent Bob thing from them. Like they're just these hetero life mates, that just are going to go everywhere together no matter what. I didn't think they were that stupid personally.
Well,
But
I guess you're looking at it from a stupid point. I was looking at it, again, hetero life mates. I mean, you can't tell me that Harry and Lloyd and, aren't the best of buddies for life.
do you think Kevin Bacon took this movie seriously?
No.
Just based on his performance?
Partially.
I think he
Yeah.
did.
Apparently,
On the books, he did not believe in this movie whatsoever.
no, he hated it.
Yeah.
He thought
But
it
he
was the
needed
worst.
the money.
Right. No joke.
He
No
was
joke.
He needed
His
the
wife
money.
was pregnant.
Yeah, his wife was pregnant. The Footloose money was running out.
That's right.
He had all these problems.
That was back in 1986. That was
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Exactly. And he thought he was on the top of the mountain,
Right.
but all of a sudden everything starts slipping.
But she's having a baby, didn't do that well.
yeah.
And now he apparently fell on the floor in front of his wife at one point and said, I can't believe I'm making a movie about underground worms.
Yeah.
Like he thought this was going to kill his career.
Believe it, buddy.
You signed on the dotted line.
Yep.
I mean, how much money they got to back up in the truck before you go, I'll make your worm movie.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm just imagining being the person that's given this script. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And you're like, sure.
Was it written as a horror movie at first? I wonder.
So this was one of the bottom shelf stories that the writer had came up with. I think he had was trying to get another movie made and went to the producer and I guess they had done some other stuff which got him on the radar. And then the producer's like, well, what else you got? He's like, well, let me take a look. And he just pulls out from the bottom of the bag and he's like, it was supposed to be Land Shark or something. I
else
think
you
was
got?
the original name.
Well, I have this worm movie.
Yeah. It was just
Know
like,
if you're interested.
exactly. Well, no, and then she read it. She loved it. She goes, all right, we're doing this one. So that's actually how it went down. So it wasn't like one of those like, oh my God, we have nothing to do. They believed in it. They really did.
But Kevin didn't.
Kevin didn't. Kevin's the only one who was not on board with the whole thing.
No, but it has now since embraced the movie.
Yes. And he, during the filming, because of the cast and crew working together so well, he did actually enjoy his time on set. But coming on, he was.
So why he hasn't come back for the last 7 or 6 of them?
Well, it's not probably the same people. I mean, other than Fred Ward, I think was in the second one, and
Fred
then
Ward's
it's just,
been in every single one. Well,
No, that's
I think
Michael Gross.
Oh,
Michael
Michael
Gross.
Gross.
He's been in every single one.
Yeah.
The Family Ties dad,
Yeah.
right? But Fred Ward did the second one. Did you ever see the second one?
I didn't.
So you loved this so
I
much,
loved
and then
it
you
so
didn't
much,
see
and
the sequels.
I didn't want it to ruin it for me.
Don't.
They're
Yeah, I will-
awful.
I'm-
Any of the sequels.
Tremors
There's
is
like 8 of
great.
them.
I don't need to see the rest of them.
No, honestly, that was the reason why I ultimately said let's do Tremors. Even though when you mentioned it, I was like, I was gonna say maybe let's do Ace Ventura because it looks like it's almost too good to be on here. And then I thought, well, if we're gonna do all these really crappy Tremors movies, we got to do the first one. And so really, we're doing this as a gateway to get to the rest of them,
That are
which
actually
are
crappy.
terrible.
Are you going to keep the same rule where us 4 have to watch the entire series
If possible,
and come in and talk about them?
we'll see. If possible,
Don't do this to me.
you've had to watch all the. Which one are you on? American Ninja.
American Ninjas.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's had to watch all those. 2 of them so
Wait
far.
a minute. Back up. What?
Yeah.
American Ninja. You ever see that?
No.
There's like 12 American Ninjas, and the same like studio crew has to go through every single one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm stuck watching all.
It's
of these
basically because they
American
couldn't name it White Ninja, so they just name it American
American
Ninja.
Ninja.
It's really just about a white dude who's a ninja.
Ninjas. Yeah,
It's bad.
Dudikoff over there.
Got
All
it.
right, we're getting off on a trail here. So the now we also were introduced to the seismologist, Rhoda, I don't know, whatever her name is,
Rhonda.
who is really worried about sunburn, but just on her nose.
Even though she has a hat on that will block the sun.
She looks like a 90s camp counselor from Camp Anawana.
Yes.
Salute my
exactly
shorts.
what it was.
Yeah. Can't
Yes.
find a wanna. We hold you in our hearts. And when I think about you, it makes me want to fart.
Nice.
Nice.
That was a good
For all those old Saturday Night Nick kids out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, so she's clearly here to be the love interest to the main character. That's her job.
But she doesn't fit the list.
She doesn't fit the list. She's not an idiot.
Yeah, let's
Val kind of describes
let's talk about the list.
himself in the list a little bit.
Yeah. Blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair, like
Legs that go all the way up. They made that joke on Family
That's
Guy when Peter's legs went all the way up and it was just like up to his chin.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like disgusting. But
Yeah, I was very interested by his list. But apparently I thought, well, gosh, out here in the desert, how many people do you find? But he had a myriad of pictures attached to his sun
Bobby
visor.
Lynn Dexter.
That's right. So he found one that fit his list. Good old Bobby Lynn.
yeah.
Tammy Lynn Baxter.
Or whatever her name is. Yeah, and so we find out this woman is out here. She's a new intern or something. I don't know. It really
College
doesn't matter.
student,
She's a
yeah.
college student who's now conveniently putting things that measure
Seismographs.
seismograph.
No, they were out there for like 3 years.
Were they?
Yeah, she said that in the beginning. She
Okay.
said, the students have never gotten readings like this. Are they broken?
All right. Well, why are we reading seismologists or I don't know, whatever. Why are we sciencing in the desert if nothing ever happens there?
That's a good point.
Great question.
Maybe there's some kind of science in there. Maybe there's a fault in the. I mean, talking about what? This is California?
I guess.
Or-
No, I guess.
What state did this?
Nevada.
Well, there could be some
was supposed to be
seismic
Nevada.
activities.
But it was like California with a built set
Yeah.
with a Nevada backdrop.
It's really amazing how Nevada looks in no way like Southern California.
Amazing.
All right, then we also meet the rest of the gang, which is Burt Gummer, Chang, the stupid kid, Pogo Girl, and Miguel.
Yes,
Did I
let me
miss
tell
anybody?
you, the moment those two walked on, Bert and Heather, I didn't know if I wanted to sing Nancy or the Family Ties theme.
Nice.
Fancy, I think it was called. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Michael Gross, who's Family Ties dad,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Burt Gummer. This is his second movie on our podcast because he was the dad in Cool as Ice
Oh, was
Yeah.
he?
of Kat, that chick that rides the horse
Oh, man.
or drives the horse. Can't
Whatever.
believe I missed that.
Can you imagine Vanilla Ice redoing the theme from Family Ties?
And I remember saying, Mike, I think we gave Michael Gross like one of the top accolades of that movie. Where like he classed up this horrible movie with some decent acting.
Yeah.
That was not the case in Tremors. Bert is in. He's like, what do we say? He's full blown. What's the word?
Prepper.
Prepper.
Yeah.
He's Ted.
Full-
He's Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
full
he's
grown
like
pepper.
disaster, like
He's prepping
ready.
for
Got it all
anything,
ready, yeah.
He's got the bunker, but it's underground.
It's
Crap.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Sky
Sorry.
Bunker would have been better.
Sky Bunker.
Sky Bunker.
He didn't think of everything.
That's what he needed. That's what he
But
needed.
then, never mind. Just go.
We'll go through it. But Egg Shen is in the movie too, which I
Yes.
didn't realize.
I loved.
Yeah.
And so he's Walter Chang, the guy that runs this convenience shop. They got
He's
the
the one who-
stupid kid
He's the one who names the
who Graboid. Yeah,
graboids.
is
Yeah,
his-
he's the official.
he gives the name.
He gets that.
This stupid kid, I cheered for to die in every scene that he was
I
in,
never did.
and he never did.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert: Pogo Girl is actually the girl from Jurassic Park,
Yep.
Yes.
which I didn't know.
Yep.
Jello shaking Jello girl.
Yeah, this was only 3 years before that.
Yeah, she's trying to break some sort of pogo stick record.
Yeah,
She was at 640.
That's right.
that's a lot.
These damn graboids came in.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ruined it for her.
Basically, what is driving the plot here is Val and Earl. Thank you. Whatever their names are.
Gosh.
I just want to keep calling them Kevin and Fred because that's their real names.
Sure.
But Val and Fred, they want to get out of town because they've got these crappy jobs, and they literally show them nailing in staples on a barbed wire fence. They're cleaning out somebody's crapper. What else? I don't remember what else they had them
They're
doing.
handymen.
They're just
Yeah,
handymen.
Garbage.
everything.
They had the crapper that went
Garbage,
from suck to blow.
That's right. And they're like, we're tired of this.
Jokes you got today.
I
He's
got a bunch of them.
Look at him. That's just the first page.
This is a whole book. I got it all written.
I do have.
Lord.
Your
I should've-
5 notes.
I should
I
have
only
brought
have
notes.
5 jokes.
I'm
And-
so ill prepared.
And so
Sorry.
they want to go to Bixby to get better jobs, but I gotta imagine that if like Bixby, they're gonna just be doing the same thing in Bixby that they've been doing here. They don't seem like guys that change.
But they're optimistic.
They're
And
optimistic.
that's what's
which
so
you can't-
lovable
yeah,
about them.
That's
There's
true.
nothing to stop them. Oh,
Nothing
wait.
to stop them.
Wait.
Never try to leave
Wait.
Paradise Valley.
It's called perfection.
Whatever.
Close enough.
Perfect. This is why I say we're the
This is
worst
the
movie
worst,
podcast
Ever.
ever, because we don't do any research. We just say
just go
things.
for
We
it.
just
We're
go
off
for
the
it.
cuff.
Like I
baby.
said, I don't have any notes, so
That's what's up.
don't
You're doing good, though.
don't
You're
take
doing
anything
great.
I say seriously.
All right. Well, the first weird thing.
It's all fake.
The first weird thing that happens is we see this random dude sitting up in a tower, and I immediately thought he had gotten electrocuted or something
Sure.
because it looked like it was an electrical tower or something.
Yeah. Why would you not think that?
Yeah, it was a transmission tower.
But apparently, and even though to me the guy looked totally normal, Earl, is that his name? I'm gonna call him Fred again.
Earl. Yeah,
Earl.
Write this
Earl's
down.
Fred.
Should you write this down
I'm not
for
gonna
you?
write it down. I refuse. Earl's able to take one look at him. He's like, oh yeah, he's dehydrated. He's been up there 4 days.
Yeah. Well, the doctor, they call the doctor out.
Yeah.
No,
He comes out
and it
he's
was
like,
Val because he was like,
Val.
He was one of the
that's
clients.
that's whoever the
Can't you tell
Yeah.
by his
Swear.
pants?
Can't you
Yeah.
tell by his pants?
yeah he only wears that jacket.
Well, they thought that he was drunk and climbed up
Right.
the tower and got stuck.
Well,
yeah,
and
so
this-
then they rock paper scissors
Yeah,
it, and
that
Val's
starts
like, I
the
guess
joke.
I'll climb this stupid tower to go get this dude down. Even though, did you just like pull him and throw him off? Like, how'd you
Yeah, how'd you
actually
carry
get
that
him
down?
down? That's a
They
question.
live
I've
in a
had
they live in
for
a
years.
desert. I don't know how they could have thought it was dehydration.
I-
And you're gonna tell me that guy didn't have a flask on him? I mean, look at him.
Yeah, no, he definitely had a flask.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
it was in that one jacket that he wears.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
that
what I'm
one
saying.
only jacket.
So after he painstakingly carried him down on his back, I'm just to answer your question. I'm
Like a
assuming that's
monkey.
like a monkey. They get down like, all right, this guy's dead. Well, we're still going to Bixby. Sucks to suck. But then they get out there and they find another body. Except it's like all these sheep that have been torn to pieces.
You got Stinky Whistletooth out there hoeing and sheeping.
Hoeing and sheeping.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't farmers, that's technical terms.
That was almost the name of our show.
Hoeing and sheeping.
Yeah.
You're right. How do we not
Hoeing
go
and
with that?
sheeping in the morning.
What would it be in the afternoon? I'm concerned.
Franks and beans.
Bologna and beans.
That's right, bologna and beans.
Afternoon delight.
What
Where
would
are
we
we?
do,
We have
baby?
derailed.
With our love.
Sha-la-la-la.
So we're at
So they pull the hat off the guy.
Farmer Fred, old man Fred, and
Yes.
conveniently they left his head behind because they realized they were eating a really old man and they didn't want any.
They didn't want everybody else. They just consume whole
Yeah.
But they left his head behind
because of plot reasons.
because of plot reasons.
right.
Because it's a
Plot armor.
'Cause
His
it's a
head just
horror
had
movie.
plot armor.
and it's scary looking.
To have his face just
That was wicked.
was
I don't
cool.
know.
It was
Val
cool.
and Earl are having the worst day ever at this point.
The
They're
suspense
just trying to get
build
out of
up
the-
on this was great.
They're you know
They're
what's
just
funny
trying
about
to make
this?
their lives better, and they're finding heads and drunk
just
men
trying to get
dead.
out.
I'm
Apparently, they had
I'm
to-
just trying to leave.
Our friends' heads are falling off.
You're
Again,
right, this is Dumb and
So
Dumber.
I see the reference now. I get it.
We got worms.
We got worms.
Sorry. So apparently the director originally wanted it to be ambiguous as to whether or not this was an actual person doing this and didn't want any shots of any worms or anything. And the studio, when they decided to just straight up market it as a monster movie, which of course you would, they went back and added the underground camera stuff,
Yeah,
before
sure.
that and everything. I'm like, what kind of trailer could you have cut together to not blow the fact that these were worms? Like, why at any point were you ever think you would market it that way, that it could have been a person?
It was just a buddy comedy. That's what they did.
Right.
Where people die.
That was the dumbest decision ever, but
It's like
Yep.
Tucker and Dale versus the Evil. Have you seen that?
no, it's
Oh,
not
that's
a movie.
another
That's a good
one.
movie.
Well,
Yeah.
and the poster is a worm
Yeah,
Right.
under
they,
them.
they were going to originally have an actual.
Did they rip off the
graboid.
Jaws poster?
No, it was
They
gonna be
did.
it was gonna be a hand next to
did.
a worm. It was gonna be a question mark, like,
What could it be?
Just a couple people looking down, looking at a question mark. That's
right.
Oh, that is. It's scary though. They were supposed to have an actual picture, but the studio or the production
Yeah.
company, whatever, said no. We don't want you to give it away in
Right.
the movie poster. So they kind of altered it and made it look like this dog Jaws thing. Yeah, but it's a Jaws ripoff
Gotcha.
as well.
Right. Anyway, they're dumb, so they do believe that a killer is on the loose.
Yep.
Okay, right? And they run back and they're like, "There's a killer!" He tells these construction
He's chopping
guys.
people's heads off.
These construction guys got a jackhammer. Like, what the frick is that guy talking about?
Yeah.
I don't
And then
know.
punctures one of the worms.
And then all of a sudden, the road is bleeding.
Their blood is so thin too.
Yeah.
Has anyone? Did you notice that it's like
Yeah.
so liquidy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's water.
It's
Kool-Aid.
orange water.
They're
It's what it is.
they're anemic.
It's
okay?
orange drink. It's very.
They don't have enough iron in
High
their
C.
diet.
High C.
Well, they have to
juice.
move quickly, so
That's
I guess.
Must be this. Yeah.
you know,
But then we get
lighter
another
they
kind of a
are.
Jaws-y thing that happens, right? Is he gets dragged along by this thing, but on the
The
road.
jackhammer. Yeah.
The
The hose
jackhammer
from the jackhammer.
is just ripping through, which I thought that was kind of cool. It's just ripping through the street.
Yeah, but then up the hill, over the mountain, back
the
down
woods.
the other side. Like,
yeah,
come
man.
on.
And all it did was wrap around his
Yeah.
ankle. He couldn't get that sucker out
I
of
was
there.
waiting for Bugs Bunny to jump out.
Well,
and
and
be
also like the
"Yeah, that's all,
jackhammer's like
folks."
it's not that deep. You know
Yeah.
why would it just falling out of the worm? But you know we're digging way too deep into this. No pun intended.
Oh, I should have took that left turn at Albuquerque.
And then his poor friend, is like, "Oh my god!" And then the rocks
Yeah.
just murder him.
There's
Yeah.
some minor rocks coming down. Oh no.
He really didn't put up much of a fight.
You
No.
didn't.
So both construction workers dead. One via rocks, which whatever.
Yeah.
You had a hard hat on, dude.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, and then
The boulder's like the size of it. That's, the hard hat should have saved.
it should have saved him. Why wear a hard hat then?
He has
Just
PPE on. PPE on.
What?
what?
His PPP on. Whatever.
PPE.
This is a family show, Joe.
Yeah, we're talking
Personal
about
protective
worms.
equipment.
Watch your
Worms.
mouth.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
I got worms.
All right, I'm going.
All right, so can we talk about the Jaws view? I hate just
Leaving.
the fact that they would show. So they do the thing where the camera would be just above the ground and like be following people like ankle height.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Chihuahua angle.
right, but you can't. The worm's head isn't above ground, so
No.
why is the camera above
A
ground?
couple of times they had underground shots.
At
but
the end,
yeah.
they finally switched to doing the like
Sure.
through the dirt,
Well,
and I
yeah,
think they
because they
realized
did that to Rhonda when she's getting in her truck.
right.
And it's like it rolls on its side a little bit, and then it goes after her.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
you're kind
It
of
makes
just like,
a weird squeal sound again. Like
I
a
get,
pig
like,
squealing before it attacks.
It's kind of boring to just look through dirt, but
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted that on the
I
record.
mean, paleontologists do it.
Well, I'm going to rate this
as
down.
much as I love this movie,
James
I agree.
didn't make sense.
Yep.
James.
No, I
did.
no, that didn't make sense.
Oh, okay. James didn't understand the movie.
All right, so here's you know what? You know what? Okay, I'll tell you why I didn't understand the movie.
What?
Here's my big.
Wait a minute.
all right,
you don't
I'm right.
understand the movie?
No, and
We're
this,
doing this whole podcast and you don't even understand the whole movie?
here's the
I
thing.
got my notes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm sure they explain this in like Tremors 6,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Underground.
Aftermath, whatever
Tremor
the
6,
stupid,
underground.
whatever it is.
Documentary.
But assuming at this point none of those movies were going to exist, okay? Why? Where are these worms? Why have they never been there before? Where did they come from? Why are they now showing up in this specific place?
We never know.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Where were they? The whole for the 12 million years the earth has been around.
You find out in Tremors 7, Skyloft.
People are just living in the clouds.
Yeah. That's the Jetsons. They turned it into a cartoon.
It was like maybe it was like a Jurassic Park thing. They were created and someone just let them loose and was like, you know what? That's not my problem.
But the
anymore.
movie
Well-
never sees fit that we deserve to know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They did. I don't remember what the story was, but at one point, one of the Tremors 4 or 5 or whatever.
Oh, you've
It's
seen
actually
them.
it was actually based in the Wild West.
Shut
So they
up.
were around back in the 1800s. So they've been around for a long time.
Shut
We
up.
just have to get to number 5.
Yeah.
To get some answers.
To
I
understand.
bet you in the sequel to Wild Wild West,
That's what it
they,
is.
Yes.
they were riding worms. They saddle them up and ride them off
I
into
guess.
the...
Yep.
Graboids.
I guess I'll just set my question aside until Tremors 7,
Okay.
which there are 7 of them, by the way.
Oh my
But
God.
meanwhile,
it's
this
crazy.
is
I
where
didn't
it
know
bites
that.
the end of the truck and they rip one of the heads
Well,
off
see,
the
and this
tongue,
is a
right?
this
Well, not
is
yet,
another-
almost.
This is another creature feature where they're smart when the plot
Needs them.
Needs
needs
them to
them
be-
to be smart, and they're really dumb and can't do anything when we don't need them to be
This is true.
smart.
This is true. Well, because you guys have all played video games before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Skyrim,
Once
Red
or
Dead
twice.
Redemption,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was always thought it was stupid how no place ever existed like those places in real life, because the way they would give, especially in Skyrim, the borders of the world would just be, you would just reach impassable mountains.
Yeah.
And that was it. And you could just never go any further. It's really just because the map ended and they have no more space.
So it was like Truman Show.
Right.
You're just there.
And then I find out that, what's it called again? Paradise Valley?
Perfection.
Perfection
Town of
Valley
Perfection.
is a video game town, and that there's literally one road that allows you to leave, and
Yes.
everywhere else is impossible mountains.
Yes.
And I'm like, they live in a video game
Yeah.
town. And so they're driving on the one road, which doesn't make any sense.
It's not even paved either. It's just a dirt road.
This is their one road, and it's caved in. They're like, oh, we're screwed. That was our one road.
I guess
Well,
we'll just turn back.
I guess.
There's that Jeep trail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
but
long as you got a Jeep.
Well, we'll get to that.
But apparently you can't even.
it has to be a Jeep.
That has to be a Jeep.
it's
That's
called
why they
Jeep
named
Trail.
well, certain parts of the South, the 4-wheel drive vehicle
Yeah.
is called a Jeep. It's like Coke and soda and like, oh, can I get a Coke? And you want a Sprite.
So
It's the
sad.
same thing.
So sad. Kevin Bacon rides out to where the
I'm
construction
glad I'm here,
workers were.
guys. I'm glad I'm here. Trying to talk some sense in this damn movie. But okay.
Do you think there's people that live in places that have one road?
Yes, there is.
That's crazy to me.
No, I'm 100%. I'm dead
What if
serious.
your road breaks? Where are you going to go?
What if your road breaks?
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to ride
road-
horseback.
They broke their road.
That's why they
and
went on
couldn't
horse.
go anywhere.
You stock up enough to be able to sustain yourself for a short period of time until the road is
So
clear.
what
Until
you're
they have a new
saying
road.
is Bert.
Yes.
Yes, Bert.
Yes.
So he knew what he was doing
That's
this
right.
He
whole
wanted
time.
to be.
We
even
thought he
said
was
about-
crazy.
yeah.
And
Nope.
he
All right.
knew. He's the one that probably invented them.
He probably did. All right. So sad Kevin Bacon rides out with Fred Ward to the construction site. This is where you see that
Sad
the
Bacon.
well, the whole thing, because he didn't want to be there. And sees that the road is caved over
Yeah.
and can't get through.
Uh-huh.
And they think they get hung up on the rocks, like you were saying, but they've just been grabbed.
By the graboid.
Well, they do a good job at first of making you think they're these little snaky things.
Yeah.
Because they hit the gas, unknowingly rip this thing out of the ground.
Sure.
Yep.
And when they get back to town, it's hanging on the rear axle
Yes.
with like the one end severed, like it got ripped out
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, it actually tricked me because it had been so long since I saw the movie. I was like, oh, I thought they were bigger.
Nope, that's
Yeah.
it.
Like I'd seen it and it
That's
came back around
what
and got
she
me again.
said.
That's right.
I'm gonna write that down.
So we're at, the kill count at this point is like 4,
Sure.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Before they get back to town.
And then sell it to Chang for $15.
So they
Just for
can make
pictures.
pictures.
Apparently, it also smells.
But then Doc Wallace is up there with his stupid wife
Yeah.
at their new build or whatever
Building a
with the
house,
station
right, yeah.
wagon, building a
Right.
house with the dumbest woman that's maybe ever been in a horror movie.
You know what? I don't know that I would necessarily
Really?
say the dumbest, but I do enjoy the fact that it really goes to show married life. Because I think it's really funny that the generator disappears and he's
Yes.
like, yeah, it's gone. And she's like, what do you mean it's gone?
Yeah.
I'm going to get up and double check whatever you just, because I'm an idiot and I didn't know that the generator was gone.
Sounds like you were triggered by this scene.
Maybe a little. What do you mean it's gone?
Ask her about it on the chat.
I was gonna say it's probably in the chat somewhere.
Better go
bring
check,
it up
make sure
later.
that he doesn't mess things up. What are you doing? Mind your business. Go sit
he's
back
like,
down.
He's like, it was right here. There's the cord.
There's the cord.
Well, I don't know.
So what are you going to do? You're going to pull the cord, right? Of
right.
course you're going to pull the cord.
Of course.
Because you can just pull up a generator out
from
of
the
sand
earth.
Yeah.
with a cord.
Maybe it's just some pocket to natural gas or something.
Right.
He's
Well,
trying
you
to
don't want to
explain
fall in, back up, and it shoots like further up the property. It shoots out of it. Like somebody, one of the graboids was like, yuck.
Yeah. This ain't
Yep.
food.
Spat it out and then chases and kills the doctor while his wife.
Yeah. Hands him a 2x4. Here you go. This will save your life. Snap.
I don't know. Here.
Save
The
yourself
only
with
thing
this.
that would have been funnier if it had just hit him in the face when it,
Instead of her.
Or she just like hitting him in the face, trying to coax him down into the hole. No. Shh. Just go.
I mean, it'll swallow a freaking station wagon, but here's a 2x4.
Yeah, well,
Thanks.
here's the thing, and this is why I think she's dumb. Maybe get the hell out of the car when it starts to sink. I mean, it's like half like this. The doors are still
Oh,
clear.
and it's going from the back
from the back.
She's in the front. She has time.
The doors are still clear. She's got time, and she's
She
like,
has lots of time.
She's
"No,
like, oh,
I
no.
feel like hanging onto the steering wheel
Well,
is
it's
going to
the
be the
best.
way that I'll survive."
And then she turns the lights on and off and honks as if anyone's around to help.
Get out of, and you're right, in Paradise Valley,
I will say,
perfection.
at this moment, my wife goes, "She leave the radio on? What's the radio playing if the car?" And I was like, "No, it was like a transistor radio, like a separate radio. They had those? Yeah, it ran off batteries." But she's just like,
That's the whole point of this
I'm like,
movie.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. You live in a
There's
town
an
that has a
age difference.
population of 14 people.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to honk the horn. I'm not going to get out and run.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure someone hears me.
Somebody out like coyotes help save me.
Someone 20 miles away, I'm sure will hear this horn.
I bet if they'd pulled out far enough, you'd have seen a couple coyotes just sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, look at this.
Huh.
But you got to.
How come we never tried that?
Coyotes are taking notes. But no, it was a cool shot though, seeing the headlights up, kind of shine up into the sky.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
kinda-
No, that was cool.
that was kind of cool shot though.
There are definitely some things about this movie that are high quality and set it
cinematography of
above
this, yeah,
some
was-
of the
was
stuff we
Very
usually-
beautiful.
yeah.
It was very beautiful.
For
very
sure.
well shot. I'm trying
For
to
sure.
I'm trying here, Steph.
The horses, in retrospect, were a
I
terrible
agree.
idea.
Yeah.
The horses were a bad idea. That was their next brilliant idea. They're like, well, we'll get some horses
Yeah,
because we don't have a car anymore.
yeah.
And
All their
how,
cars
how
been
far
ruined.
was Bixby? Like
18 miles or something, wasn't it? I feel like.
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was.
Was?
Yeah, I thought it was 19
Yeah.
miles.
I think it was like 17.
They didn't get far on those horses. Those poor horses.
No. That one got struck hard.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to the other one.
No, they never show it.
No.
It just dipped. It was like it's in Bixby right now.
Yeah. Is that Val's horse?
well, and then they somehow made such a good enough shot to just shoot the like worm tongue.
Yes.
I'm going ahead, but
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
You're good.
and not hit the horse. It was impressive.
That was
'cause it's
impressive.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
And who knew they liked horse meat?
And the bullets throughout the movie. Nobody does. The bullets throughout the movie, based on plot, will do varying levels of damage to these worms. In
Yes.
some cases, none at all.
Yes.
And in some cases, lots.
Again, whatever the plot needs it to have. Correct.
Exactly.
Right. Some consistency, please, as to the level of damage that bullets cause to your monsters.
And the level of intelligence that the monsters have throughout the film.
Please and thank you.
They
That's
get,
all.
they get smarter.
That's right. They do. They now are on foot and have to run away from this worm until it suicides itself. it's kind of funny.
You write that down.
It's just like goosh into
Well,
a
the-
concrete wall.
Yeah,
And of
one
course
the drainage ditches or
It
whatever.
makes that
Yeah.
it makes that sound again. It's like
You have seen this a lot. That was perfect.
it's like the whole right before you do something.
Exactly.
It does that.
Yeah. It's the moment too that we finally get to like a good look at what the worm actually is.
Yes.
Other than just the three.
Right. This is where we see it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I found the
wait, do
ass
they have
end.
do they have a shovel at that point? I don't think they have a shovel. So they
There was a shovel. They had a
did
shovel
they?
in the truck. or
They
whatever,
dig
They
this
dig the thing out.
hole. It's like 30 feet long, and they're like, "Yep, we got it."
Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the ass on this thing. Yeah. Kevin Bacon's out there.
And then, of course, Rhonda comes along, and she's like, "What's that?"
Well, even before that, she's like, they're in this drainage ditch, and she's like, "Oh, hey guys,
Yeah.
what's going on?"
Doesn't even
I
notice
feel
the
like-
wall being.
I feel like my
bleeding from the-
first, the first thing I would notice is the bleeding head of a giant death worm.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
just me.
I love that they just run into Rhonda the worm wrangler and
Yeah.
round up on some rocks.
What's up, you guys hanging out in this drainage ditch?
Yeah.
Hey,
what are you
what's
guys
going?
doing out
I
here?
have more things to say about Rhonda, but we'll go there later.
Okay, well, please, I can't wait. What's funny is, again, because of plot, they fall into this drainage ditch. They cannot get out. They're like,
jumping.
The next scene, they show them both going yoink and like pulling themselves right up and out of there. The very next time it cuts back after they've dug the
They
thing
just
out.
went further up the gully. They were able to pull themselves
But it
out
was
of there.
right there.
You,
Yeah.
you think the adrenaline would have helped originally, but
You'd think that they could leap.
And then this is where they find out it's all through vibrations, right?
Yeah, well, this is where she
starts doing the
frantically
science term.
frantically grabs her papers and she's like,
there are 3 more of these things. And then she's like,
She turns into Paul Bearer.
graboids.
Yeah, and then-
Undertaker. Sorry.
Earl's like, 3 more? And we're just like, yes, Earl. That's
Right. What did you say a little bit before?
I
It's
hear
like,
you correctly?
We've tried to leave here one day late, right?
Yeah.
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 They were like, just one darn day too late.
That's right. That's right.
Excuse my French.
Where the hell did that come
I've
from?
been trying not to swear this
Nowhere.
whole time. If I
Yes.
knew we could swear, I would have just been.
No, we can't. That's what I'm like. What
I
are you doing?
That was the joke in the movie
Oh,
because he
was it?
says the French. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
He's
just
like,
more
"Excuse my
work for
French."
James.
that's right.
Right.
So they end up running to because this other one shows up, and so they run onto these boulders and they sleep. They stay the night because this thing waits for them for hours, and then they eventually discover that a team of pole vaulters had previously died. There.
Just left their pole vaults there.
Just- what? Come on! I mean, I'll let you some stretches.
And then
Sure.
Rhonda's like, you guys know how to pole vault? As if that's just common knowledge. Like, actually, we do.
But come on.
I was just waiting for Val to be like, nice boulders.
Did you notice that the actual poles like changed length
Oh yeah.
dramatically?
Oh yeah.
From like 12 feet to like 6
From when
feet
they picked them
to
up?
like 20 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they spend the night, they wake up, and then she has this brilliant idea because there are literally a pile of poles for pole vaulting on the other side of the rock where they'd slept there the entire day.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were trying to say that was from building the fence. Like I didn't know. I was just like, 'cause
In
you
this
see
pile
the
of
barbed
boulders?
wire and it's all like leaning there. So you're
They
like,
have
oh, is that
zero
from them?
explanation for the
Yeah.
poles.
I
They are
think-
just conveniently
yeah.
placed for pole vaulting
It
away
would have been nice
from
to
the
see
graboids.
like a saw or something over there.
That was, I think that's what they were attempting
Right,
to do.
right,
But
right.
that's not a good enough cover.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I do applaud them for trying.
At least they
though.
tried.
I've seen it where some of these movies we reviewed,
Oh, yeah.
they just don't care.
They're
There's
just-
like,
there's
and
just
this is
a-
here now.
Yep.
It's just a pommel horse in the middle of a town.
I was going to go there. I was going to go right to that exact moment. No explanation whatsoever. Nope.
Good old Jim Cobb.
You got to watch Jim Cotta,
Oh
Stephanie.
my gosh, you do.
I absolutely will.
You will. You must, rather. You will.
You will watch it.
All right, they pole vault all the way back to her truck and they get back to town to try and tell everyone.
Yeah, but let's.
Okay.
They open the back window. And there's the whole.
Oh,
like,
yes.
And he jacks the thing, because it's like 6 feet. I don't even know. He
Right.
like coal cocks the one worm, and then they get in there
He's like,
and they get her in,
wham!
and she's like, "How are you able to get the keys turned while your head and your upper body is down by the gas pedals?
No.
Can you reach up and turn the keys? I don't.
Why
think
not
so.
just let her get all the way into the truck?
I didn't get that whole part. I'm like, just go, and then
But she's also driving
They're
weirdly
just-
well for
Yes.
having like one
Not
hand on the
steering.
gas and just.
yeah, like I just thought that
she's
whole
a college
scene was.
student. She's done some drinking and driving.
Plus,
She's
like,
done some things.
every time
that
they
we're
showed-
not gonna talk about.
Every time they showed her out the back end, she was like waist deep into
Yes,
the window.
that's what I'm
Which she
saying.
would have been like knee or ankle deep if she was all the way down to the floor.
Correct, and I'm just going, okay,
You know,
Whatever.
I never thought about that. You're right.
Yeah, come on, guys. Just do a little work. Try
God,
a
this
little
movie
work.
sucks.
Yeah, big difference between
This
waist
is so
deep and
unrealistic.
ankle
So
That's what I'm saying.
unrealistic.
Big
I don't
difference.
believe any of this.
deep. Big difference.
Big difference. All right, so they drive with their stomachs back or on their stomachs back to the town, and they're being super loud about everything,
Yeah.
right?
And they run into Captain Lou Albano, who was
Yeah.
the guy with the big mustache. Did he have a name?
Was it Miguel?
Miguel.
Miguel. And they're in the
Yes.
store trying to tell everybody they got to get out of town. They got to get out of Dodge. And this is where that stupid kid who's his whole, it's like they had talking about a cardboard character. You have no character. You're like, your thing is you like to bounce this ball. Your thing is you pogo on a stick. Like beyond that, you have no character development
None whatsoever.
And so he fakes basketball kid, fakes like he's getting grabbed at one point, and then walks outside. I'm like, oh, here it comes. The classic fake
Yes.
out, and then he's actually going to get
He's
grabbed.
gonna actually die. Yeah, I was hoping.
But the worm comes after him, but he doesn't die.
No, he just goes into a little
He
shed.
gets
or
like a
whatever.
little cut on his leg,
Right.
and then he's like on a flagpole, like, meh.
Right.
What I
Because
love.
they couldn't kill a kid no matter how annoying he was.
They wanted to be PG-13, so they had
guess.
limitations.
I love that Mindy Pogo
But they
sticks out
left
there
but they left a head
bouncing around.
just in the ground for everyone to see. But
Yeah.
Did you ever have a pogo stick growing up?
Yeah.
I did, yes.
I had one too. I could never get more than 2 or 3 before I'm falling down.
No,
10,
I was
10 max
actually
for me.
great at pogo stick.
Were you really?
I was.
Well, I sucked
Yeah.
in that. Yeah,
I was just waiting though. I was waiting for someone to be like, "She is
I was-
not a clever girl."
Oh.
Nah.
No.
Boo! Boo to you!
Now, is this when she gets her pants ripped off by the worm? Or is that a little bit later?
I think
That's the only thing I couldn't remember when I was going back through this.
No,
Yeah.
no, that shows up. Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
that's
she
about
gets
this
the
time.
barbed wire over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets trapped in the barbed wire.
Yeah, her feet get all tangled up.
Val's
but
like,
then
take off your pants.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
Okay.
right. Takes off her pants and then shows him a sandworm.
exactly.
Right.
And her feet get all wrapped up, but thank God Kevin Bacon was there because
Yeah.
he could foot loose.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
How long have we been doing this? 52 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's one. That's
it
one
is.
of his. It's one of his 5 jokes.
Do you know what Kevin Bacon's favorite food is?
What's that?
Tacos.
Why?
There was so
Look-
much silence.
Look it up. His favorite food is tacos. All right. Anyways,
Well, he couldn't. And you know what? I'm moving
cross
past
that joke off the list. Cross that joke off the list. Okay, we're good.
Moving on.
But after he got her pants off, man, he was
Anyways.
beating off those worms one by one.
He was. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What?
He was
He
beat-
doesn't get the crickets.
He was-
I get the crickets.
No, he was.
You just said a joke that didn't have a punchline.
That's the point. That's the joke.
That's why you get crickets.
Whatever.
Oh, I get it. It's supposed to be bacon, right? But it's tacos.
Exactly.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I know you all don't know
All right.
me, but
They
Thanks.
get the.
I'm just
I
gonna
appreciate
leave
it.
I'm going to leave it at that.
This is the.
Oh, man.
This is well, not the 80s. It was 1990, but of course the main girl's got her pants off halfway through the movie. They go through. They get back into the store. They're cleaning up her legs, and then Walter Chang is killed like
Oh.
right in the middle of his own store. This thing comes through the floor.
Yeah, because the soda machine turns on, makes a bunch of vibrations or whatever.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Quiet, let's jump up and down on top of this thing."
Yeah.
Get
while
it
we try
Trying
and
to
get it
unplug
unplugged.
Right.
Yeah. That's Val's just like trying to grab him, but he's like on top of the freezer. How would that have helped if you actually got a hold of him?
Just
Help
walk
me move
over.
this
You had
thing.
no.
Now you made it heavier to
You're
move.
not anchored.
Thanks a lot. Chang's like 70-year-old man. Like he's gonna move that thing
I
out
know.
of the way.
It's
Well,
fine.
and this is the time he comes up with the name, isn't it? Before,
Yeah, right before that, he
dies.
No,
decides
he came up with the name. The Graboids was when the
the little snake was on there.
snake was on the back of the.
And graboids is just
They went.
Yeah, 'cause
They went with
he's suckoids.
snakeoids
they
and
grab ya.
yeah. I was like, and they just married themselves to that immediately. And now, do you think they're 7 movies deep and they regret the fact they have to keep calling them graboids?
No, I don't think so. I like it when he's getting all. He's like, "Well, that's where they're mad because you're not calling them the right name." You know, he's
That's right.
doing that whole thing.
That's right.
I thought that was
You know what's
No,
funny?
he's good.
After that graboid ate Chang, he was hungry 10 minutes later.
really.
Yeah. Yes. Got me some crickets.
Thank God John Hamm wasn't in this movie.
Is his favorite food ham?
Is he related to Kevin Bacon?
All right. So hold on.
Canadian bacon.
Hold on a second. I gotta cross that one off the list.
All right.
Okay. All right. I think I'm done with
All right.
jokes.
Okay, where are we at right
All right.
now?
So they all are scrambling.
Thank you.
So is she still naked?
They're all scrambling to the
No,
various
she's got the
roofs.
new pants on.
The various roofs around town. They're all getting on the roof. And so they're all marooned on different rooftops, right? Fred and Val are on one. She's on the water tower.
Well, she's climbing up the shelves, and then they domino rally her right out the window onto the water tower.
Right, That's right. That's
Ah,
right.
that's
right.
That's how she
She's
ends up on the
separated.
water
Yeah.
tower.
So something about Rhonda though. They're all asking her questions, and she's like, "Why do you keep asking me questions?" But then she uses all these terms that they can't understand.
Right.
And then she's like, "Why do you think I'm so smart?" She's like, "They move really well through polycellulophus or whatever she says." Like,
Right. She's got this dead.
and then she's like, "Stop
I
asking me
love
questions."
Italian food.
She's got this dead graboid, and she's like, "Oh, this is how they move with their little things." And
Yeah.
don't
They
ask
sense-
me anything
They
about
sense
this.
Seismic
How dare you.
activities in the ground. Yeah, exactly. Don't ask me questions. Why does everybody think I know everything?
That's a great point.
Yeah,
She's
I like that.
annoying.
Rhonda's the worst.
I'm not. She is kind of the worst, to be honest with you. She's
All
my
right.
least favorite.
So we haven't we haven't seen them in a while, but at this point we cut back to Bert and his wife Reba McEntire
Oh my!
in the basement of their
the single best scene in cinema history.
in cinema history.
In cinema
All right.
history.
So talk to me.
a
What's
bold
this
statement.
machine that they lure a worm there unknowingly?
yeah,
because they turn
They're
this
cleaning
machine
the
up.
brass.
They're cleaning the brass.
yeah. So they every time they shoot a bullet, obviously the bullet is gone, but
Yeah.
they have the brass
Shell.
casing left over, so that you can take that and make another bullet out of
Refill
it.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so what they're doing is they're putting into a vibrator.
It just like, yeah.
yeah, it's
They're putting it into a what?
a vibrator.
It's
You
a
want me to
thing
slow
that
that down for you?
vibrates. It's a big bowl.
And
Never
it's got
seen one.
a coarse
That's
grit in there, and
amazing
it
bowl.
cleans the brass.
I
yes.
see.
Okay.
Yes, that is a legit thing to have.
Got it. So this is our second movie with one of those after Johnny Dangerously then.
Every now and
Yes.
then I
And
like
so-
my vibrator cleaning my brass.
All right. So
I was hoping for a sound because
You got one out of me, just like
we don't have a
well,
sound.
I mean, like, okay, so also though, these graboids, they're either attracted to really, really, really strong vibrations, or just these little tiny, minute little machines going off.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're telling me that's the only thing causing vibrations in the entire
Area.
area?
I have to imagine
at
there's
that time?
tons. Especially if they got water and
Those-
all kinds of things.
those vibrating things actually do shake quite a bit.
Well,
Yeah,
This-
yeah.
I'm
Giant-
not even going to
just
go
saying.
there.
this giant graboid.
They don't wiggle. They
Oh,
shake.
don't.
Shake.
Yeah, the giant worm exposes
All right.
itself to Bert and Heather through the wall.
Okay, can I?
All right. Pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going off the rails here.
Single best scene in cinema history.
Explain how.
Okay, because it's come on, you can't if you like guns and shooting things
And action.
I
and
enjoy it.
action.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like that.
and
You like monsters.
yeah, and you cannot
And Reba
say-
McEntire.
and Reba McEntire
You're a country
dual
guy.
Uzis. You know,
You're right. It does have everything.
it has everything. The wall of guns on that was just fantastic. Every movie, I'm like, what Terminator when they go down, that one, and there's a big storeroom full of
The
guns.
big reveal.
Yeah, it's always like everybody
Punisher.
loves. The Punisher. They got all the. It's a big. John Wick had the wall of things. It's a big reveal.
Yeah.
And just to have the graboid come through the wall and they just
Unload.
load on.
Well,
this
thank
guy.
God he didn't come through the other wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Where all the
it
guns
would have been.
Oh, they're scrambling.
Oh crap! Ill prepared.
Yeah.
You got to have guns on both walls.
Grab the posters of of the American Eagle.
I feel like they didn't diversify their gun placement well enough. They diversified the selection. They shot that thing with every gun ever invented
which was fantastic
in the history
Yeah.
of time.
And then on the other side of the valley, they hear it going off.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Yep.
Yeah, that
and
was
they're just-
cool.
and they think that they're done, they're dead, but they and then Bert gets
Yeah.
the elephant gun, which is just this huge,
All
massive
the shells.
cartridges,
Yeah.
and just absolutely blows,
2 shots.
blows
Done.
massive
And it
holes.
gets him like right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Too.
Well,
And
I
so
love the,
we have
I
our
love-
second dead graboid at this point. Yeah.
Well, I love the moment when it grabs around his leg
yeah.
and then Reba's sitting there and I was,
Oh
he's
God,
like,
here it comes.
yeah.
Here comes a joke.
I was hoping she'd sing a song to it.
I was hoping he yelled out, "Here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down."
Ah, there it is. There it is. We got jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes.
Jokes. I got
You
jokes
now you
and
brought it up,
jokes
so
and
now we'll
jokes and
just talk
jokes.
about it now. But if you said the Terminator, if Arnold Schwarzenegger had been in this movie, you cannot convince me.
Oh my God.
I mean, this would have been right up his freaking alley.
yeah, he would have been Bert. I think
Arnold
he should have been Bert.
versus the worms,
Oh,
like Predator.
oh.
If it bleeds, I mean,
I can kill it.
we'd have two. It'd be like in True Lies. He did it to the dogs. You have 2 graboids come out of the ground. And he just smash them together.
Yeah. Where'd you get the cannon fuse from? It's
right.
for my cannon.
That's right.
Because I have a cannon at home.
That's right. As the thing would bust through the cliff, you go, "Have a nice trip. See you next fall."
He snaps it to a wall and does
Yeah.
the classic
Stick it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
mean, that would've
Oh
been
man, the
great.
one-liners in this movie would have been fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
But you do get the great line at the end: "Is you broke in to the wrong GD
Yes.
rec room, didn't you?
That's
the mother
true.
effer?"
That's true.
Which was a
Mother
And that thing,
Yeah.
the mother humper.
Fantastic.
We killed
line.
that
Yeah.
mother humper.
Yes. Repeat that, guys. You did kill that mother humper.
They did that throughout the movie. So those were F-bombs. They redubbed their own movie because
Yeah.
they wanted it to be
PG-13.
PG-13. So
It was okay that they had all these dead
So
bodies.
it wasn't
they had
can
too
you
many F words.
That's right. It wasn't
Yes.
can you fly sucker at the end. And it wasn't mother humper and all those other things. It was all different.
Somehow I
Originally.
don't see how mother humper is better.
Well, I guess in the eyes of the censors, it is. But anyway, so they kill us. So we have 2 dead graboids at this point. And then I guess now is the time to just Say it now. Rest in peace to old dumbass Nestor. That guy. Can we talk about now? We haven't brought him up at all. There's this other.
I'm gonna get no tire. This will be fine.
We've had this other old hillbilly that's been part of the group that we haven't talked to at all. Because the only time you see him is in this really stupid reaction shot.
Yeah.
When they're all cheering, the fact that Bert got one or whatever, or the CB, and they're all, and he's got this really bad reaction close up where he's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Well, how'd that go again?
Yeah.
It's the sound for me.
And then I don't know how it happens. He falls off of wherever he's hiding or whatever.
He's on a
So that-
trailer.
that
He's on a
grab-
trailer.
Oh, that's right.
The graboid is coming up and like he's
Poking
using
at
his nose and he's like, "Oh, this thing's lighting up. I'll
Yeah.
tip the over." Sorry.
That's okay. So he ends up on the ground, and this is the thing that bugs me about Nestor's death, which will come up into play here in a minute. But he scrambles onto a tire and freezes,
Yeah.
and the graboid knows exactly where he is and eats him and kills him.
Yeah.
Where not 5 minutes later, they established that freezing in place will save your life.
He was breathing hard. I don't know.
He was breathing hard.
He was farting. Maybe he had some gas.
He was just smelly old Nestor. Is
Yeah.
what it was.
He reeked of
Even
alcohol.
underground, they could I can smell this guy. I know where he is.
Yeah. We got him
Yeah, a
good.
little bit of a plot hole, but
I don't know.
Yeah, there's also a part about that freezing in place thing coming
that
up.
the whole thing is so stupid. So we'll just get to that now because they've
Right
got
now.
2 graboids left, right? There's the one that's now
Stumpy.
guarding Bert's house and won't let them out,
Yeah.
but won't come up to get shot either.
And they somehow knew we're gonna use this truck to go
Yeah.
to the mountains. So kill the truck, even
Right.
though it's not moving or vibrating. And this is where the graboids are suddenly very, very, very smart.
Yes.
Very smart. And then there's the other one that's down in the town that's really starting to take down buildings or getting to the point where
Yeah,
the
that's
buildings
the one
are
that they
almost
nicknamed Stumpy because
it ripped the thing off.
right,
Yeah.
one of the 3 heads.
That
And
should
so-
have been the name of the movie.
They come up with
Stumpy.
Stumpy.
3 heads.
Stumpy's revenge.
3 head. Stumpy's revenge.
they come up with this plan to get the bulldozer. Well, they can't grab a bulldozer; it's too heavy. Well, how do you know? But
They're literally trying to relocate buildings.
that's
So
what I'm
how
saying.
is a bulldozer
don't know.
anyway?
But the plan is they are going
Right.
to lower Miguel down onto this lawnmower. Which, thank God, there was a lawnmower right next to the building.
Which you need
In a
out in the
desert.
Yes.
to cut grass.
Yeah.
Just mowing down my cactuses, my cacti.
Well, to just give it a little credit, there was no actually mowing deck. It was just a
tractor.
lawn tractor.
Yeah.
They could use that.
Stop ruining
Sorry,
this.
I'm just trying to
Go
say.
get beer.
He's able to rig it expertly.
Yes.
To drive
With a handkerchief.
with a handkerchief exactly where they needed it to go, which was also impressive. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and then Val's running to the thing.
Yeah, the opposite direction. So they're going to send the lawnmower this way so that Val can run that way.
And he's like sprinting over, and then the thing tips over, so they're like, Val, watch out. And then he's,
How's it go again?
The mower tips over.
Val, watch out.
the tractor.
Yeah.
Then he does that freeze in place thing. Okay.
Yeah, the Karate Kid
Right.
stance.
And then the thing's coming up, and he's like moving his feet.
But he's putting
Okay.
his foot down.
That too. Also that. But then so Rhonda kicks the water on the water tower, and the thing falls, and it goes under. And then within not even 3 seconds, he's running again.
Right.
I'm like, you're telling me that this thing turned around to go
Started
all
having
the
to
way
go-
back to this water thing
Yeah.
and doesn't hear Val continuing to run?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's fine.
This is where
I'll believe it.
the internal logic of it, which they've done a decent job in keeping up, starts to fall apart with the freeze in place thing. That was the one where I was like, really? And straight up, because he's just picking his foot up, putting it down. Like as soon as he set his foot back down again, I'm like, okay.
That's
You
where
just-
you are.
You just silently placed your foot back in the dirt.
Didn't make a noise.
Didn't make a noise.
No vibration.
No vibrations at all.
Now he's a ninja.
Yeah.
He's the white ninja.
The white.
He's the cowboy ninja.
That's right. It's so stupid.
It's a mullet ninja.
All right, so he gets to the bulldozer, and there's also a semi-trailer that they attach to it, a hollowed out like a oil rig tanker trailer
Tanker trailer.
that's been cut in half. Perfect for evacuating a town full of survivors.
We got this here. The wheels are flat. This should
Don't
pull
matter.
Except they're not flat.
Can't pull anything.
That's right. They get all their people in it. Then they drive up to Bert's house. Bert takes forever to get off the roof
Yes.
because he's got
And he's throwing just
pipe bombs
All
and
this
guns and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, we got to take all this stuff with us.
Because they're going to be on our butts.
You know, right. That's
the
right.
entire way. So we need to have something to defend ourselves.
And this plays
It's
into you
worked
talking
well so
about
far.
how smart they are. Now that they're all making hay for the mountains to get to Bixby, this thing digs a trap for them.
Yes.
There's two of them.
A
still.
worm trench, right?
Like a trench in the road. Knew where the road was
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
because it was in the road.
Right.
And this bulldozer goes into the sinkhole
Yeah.
and they're hosed.
Don't think so.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. And so there's a conveniently placed cluster of boulders nearby
Yep.
they have to get to
Yep.
because they can't go through rock.
So this is when Bert pulls out his sticks of homemade dynamite.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Some household chemicals in the
I-
right proportion.
Exactly.
that he had on the roof.
And this is where Ron doesn't know it all. She's like, it's so loud, it has to hurt them.
Yeah.
Don't ask me
Okay.
how I know that.
Yeah, exactly. But don't ask.
Yeah.
Okay, Rhonda.
So they chuck one over the edge.
Okay,
Rhonda.
Rhonda. Rhonda, you suck, Rhonda. How about we chuck
Stupid
Rhonda
hair.
this way and we all run to
Yeah,
the rocks?
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
So,
Rhonda, we're going to pole vault that way. Go.
No.
You'll be fine. You know everything about them already. You can survive.
right.
Yep. So they
Rhonda gets out there and starts going,
That's about what all of her lines sound like to me.
she pulls a full Karen.
she does. All right, I'm hitting fast forward. So
Yeah.
they get to the rocks.
Yeah.
They get to the rocks and they've got some pipe bombs and they've got some guns and they go fishing. I don't know how else to say it other than that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a bad idea.
Some lasso tricks.
No,
throw
it's
some-
actually
some rocks.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. They throw
And-
some rocks to get it to a spot.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
that Earl's idea or Val's? I can't remember.
I feel like it was Earl's.
I think it was Earl's. Something about, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Because he was going to do the lasso thing,
Well, 'cause
right?
Bert was like,
And
I just
family
want to
ties.
take one of these out and let them take me. And
Yeah.
That's right.
Bert's like, that, or Earl's like, that gives me an idea.
Right.
Yep.
And then the Family Ties dad was like, I think that might just work.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. By golly, he's got it.
This is the one thing I forgot to say earlier about this movie that I didn't like. Because overall, I enjoyed most of it.
You said the one thing you didn't like?
This is one of the things I didn't like. And I don't know if Kevin Bacon was playing it up so much like this because
He was hamming it up.
Was hamming it up because he knew what kind of movie he was in and didn't want to be there. But I feel like the horror in the movie was good. The action in the movie was good, right?
Yeah.
But almost all of the comedy in the movie fell flat to me because it seemed like they were all trying so hard, and especially Kevin was playing it so big for the comedy.
Sure.
Like everything he did that was supposed to be funny, like almost seemed like it should be followed up with, you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah. Like it was the Three Stooges
When
bit.
he's hitting this, trying to hit the stable,
Right.
he finally hits it.
It's yeah.
I don't know if he did that on purpose.
He wasn't. No,
I think
no,
he
that
just
was an
sucks.
accident. Yeah,
Anyway.
that was the joke.
Back to what we were talking about. So they basically tie a pipe bomb on a line,
Yeah,
throw it out there. The first one right away takes
Grabs
it.
Sure.
and just
Blows
boom,
up.
which is a great scene.
It's great. So now
Yeah.
we're down to one.
Now you're covered in sweet potato and pumpkin.
Yep.
And I was
pumpkin
so
pie.
happy the kid took
yeah,
one, right?
I was gonna
like,
say
yeah,
that kid got it right in the face.
let's go. Unfortunately, he didn't get his face eaten off. But they
But
tried.
they're smart enough to dig a trench,
Yes.
but they're not smart enough to know that they just ate a bomb.
No.
No.
It's fizzy.
But they didn't want the generator.
They didn't want the generator.
It's a carbonated beverage.
Yeah.
Or it didn't want the rocks that they threw in that same spot. But why the pipe bomb?
pipe bomb was-
yeah.
whatever.
This movie falls apart at the end, man. Okay.
So they're fishing now with the other one. They got one left.
Yeah.
Or no, two left.
Well, yeah.
Because Kevin's holding one.
Right.
And he throws it out there, and this time it's not taking it. It's not taking it, man. Why not? What should we do? Well, the thing takes it
And spits
and
it back.
and accurately and expertly
Spits it on to the bag, the rest of the bag of
the
explosives,
bag of like
which is
direct hit.
probably like
Yeah.
3 feet on this
Yes.
giant rock.
And wasn't it a bank shot too? I feel like
Yeah.
it hit
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Like
landed there.
Nothing but bag.
Nothing but
Nothing
bag.
but bag.
Blows up everything.
You sunk my battleship.
Literally
Michael Jordan of graboids.
And then they all end up off the rock.
Yes.
in the sand
And
like morons.
3 miles apart too, like
Yeah.
some of them.
But also
and you-
totally
they ran
fine.
real far.
You're telling me that
But they're
bag
also
of
totally-
bombs
that's
didn't
right.
blow a hole in the side of the rock?
A whole bag of pipe bombs
Yeah.
goes off at the same point.
Yeah, made
And
out of my
everyone's fine.
PVC stack out
Right.
of the top of the roof from the house.
All we were going to get was some soot on people and like blink, 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 blink.
Yeah.
They probably
Wah,
pole
wah,
vaulted
wah,
away.
wah.
Said they probably pole vaulted away.
They
were all
probably
fine.
did. She was far enough away you'd think she did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Val suddenly remembers that time he peed off of a cliff,
The stampede.
says, I got a plan.
What did I say in the beginning? I said everything you need to know about this movie is the opening scene.
That's
where
right.
Kevin Bacon's pissing off a cliff.
That's right. Because we're right back to the same place. And it was the same place because the rock outcropping is the same from the first shot
Yes,
where they
right.
were. So they literally ended up back where they were. And he's just sprinting. He's in a dead sprint for the edge,
yeah,
which I don't know if it's really made explicit. He's running towards the edge of a cliff.
It didn't.
It didn't.
no,
You just think he's running.
not right away. Yeah,
And then the thing's following him, and he throws the pipe bomb behind the worm.
right, to scare it to make it run faster underground.
And then he's
Right.
just standing there for
Like it matters.
whatever it. Yeah, as if it matters. And then
Yeah.
he does this like leap out of the way.
Like it actually
And
did
the
anything.
and the shot of him leaping is just
It's great.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They served some macaroni with that cheese.
And that
A little bit.
worm shoots right out of the side of this cliff.
Yeah,
Like, not being able to see through dirt kind of sucks for these worms because like, I have to imagine
their
this would
one
happen
flaw.
all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, crap.
where are we going?
There's a whole cliff here.
Right?
Well, and then it lands and it breaks apart like paper mache.
It's because it was made out of paper mache.
And then the
I wish there'd been like
orange
four
Kool-Aid
other
falls out.
dead worms right in that same spot. That would have been perfect. Right?
It's like a pinata.
Oh
There's
my
a
gosh.
sign down there that says "Watch out, falling worms."
The Jim Cotta.
Yeah,
The guy with the
the guy with the flags. He's down there. You missed.
And then Val feels dumb
Is
because
there
he's
random
like, oh,
arrow?
I thought that was a really smart idea. Never mind.
And he yells at him, "Can you fly, sucker?" Which was
Dubbed over.
call back to a line earlier asking or he said, "They can fly for all you know," right?
Oh, yeah.
And apparently, from what I read, I haven't seen them. There are flying graboids like later on down the line.
There's flying
I think
graboids.
it's-
There's swimming graboids.
I think it's number 3 that they start flying.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
whatever.
Number 2 is like terrestrial graboids, and
Yeah, they're on.
Johnny
Yeah,
Christmas.
they walk
but
ones.
again,
and they're.
I'm not
heat.
going to ruin my life and watch 2 through 7.
Don't.
Well, we'll see. That's the movie. And so now, if
There you
you've
go.
got anything in your notes, if you brought notes,
I-
and we didn't get
My
to it,
bad.
now is your chance to talk about the little things. Any little things we missed?
I got something.
Okay.
I think Michael Gross, coming from Family Ties,
Mhm.
playing a completely different role.
Yeah.
He ended he did his last Family Ties episode, and like 4 days later, he was on set of
Yeah.
Tremors.
Yep.
He definitely paved the way for Bryan Cranston doing Breaking Bad.
You think
Like,
so?
I think so. Like breaking that family dad, then going into a much stronger,
Serious,
more
yeah.
serious, stronger, like weird character.
So you're saying in your head canon, this is the same guy. He
No.
left his family with the Keatons, shacked up with Reba McEntire,
Yes,
and broke bad.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I like it.
I just like the similarity. I just caught that.
What do you do, baby, without me? See you later.
And I just thought it was funny the foreshadowing with the noisy freezer or whatever that.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
in
yes,
the beginning
yes,
they're
yes,
like,
yes.
he's like, I gotta get that damn thing fixed. Chang was just all mad that it's all, it makes so much noise.
I
Yeah.
love that Chang's
I
line
s-
was like, I didn't do it.
I said it makes noise. I don't know if you heard me. It makes noise.
Man. Poor Egg Shen. He didn't deserve to go out like that.
No, he didn't. Oh, his phone didn't even work though.
I know, what a
yeah?
loser.
That could have
The
helped.
CB, we didn't even talk about that. The CB drop in when they're trying to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And they drop Kevin Bacon all Mission Impossible style through the window to grab the CB radio to talk to
Right.
Bert.
Say over.
Yes.
Over.
Oh, we didn't even touch on the fact that
The roof was
Val
waving
and
in.
Rhonda get together in the end, which I'm sure will
Yes,
last
can we talk about that?
forever.
Let's talk about that.
They
because
had
the
a
movie
different
ends.
ending.
Yeah, they did.
They had originally had a different ending, yet the test audiences wanted to have some kind of closure, romantic closure from those two.
Ugh,
So they
God.
went back
With
and
her-
reshot.
They are the worst movie couple
They are.
ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is no chemistry. They are not. Nope.
Stephanie, watch some of the movies we've talked about. This just
At
seemed like
least they had it in there. I mean,
Par for
there's
the
some
course.
people that get so mad about Major Pain
yeah.
and not having any love
At
interest.
least
in
they.
there.
At least you're right.
James was on the test audience for that
You're
one.
right.
He's like,
at least they circled
"They're not
back.
gonna
Yeah,
do
he's
this
like,
to me
hey,
again."
you make sure those two end up together.
That's right.
All right.
It's stupid, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
All right. That's exactly what it is. All right. So let's do the thing that we do with all these movies, which is give it some flowers. It deserves some, at least. So we're going to shoot some awards its way right now. And we always start with the Will Patton Award for Intensity. This is not an acting award, but so much as it is an award for the actor that was giving the most intense performance, that was the most dialed in, that took this thing as serious as anybody and really went for it, AKA like Will Patton. So who do you guys have for your Will Patton Award winner?
I'm going with Michael Gross.
Michael Gross.
Yep. I feel like, stepping from the family sitcom to this, he went all out. Not to mention he went so all out, he was in every other
movie
to come out from then on. He was in every single one. That's how
thought
much.
it was like Family Ties, where he had to stay in the TV series.
Yes.
That's what he's like.
That's what he's used to.
This is all I can do.
Yes,
That's
This
all
is
he
what
knew.
I know.
He didn't realize he didn't have to sign those contracts.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
I was going to go with Egg Shen, but I think I'm going to go to Michael Gross.
Michael Gross.
Yeah, I there was a part of me that just because, anytime he's in those movies, Egg Shen, he's just so like, and he's
Careful.
He just takes it home. You know what I mean? But like the fact that I like what you said about Michael Gross, so I'm going there.
All right. Who you got, Steph?
Definitely Michael Gross.
Yay.
Yep.
It's going to be clean
I
sweep.
agree.
I said him too.
Yep.
So he was super, super invested. Like to him, this was like Gone with the Wind or something like he thought he was in the most important movie ever made.
Frankly,
I love that
Heather, I
about
don't give a damn.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is an acting award, although it's not one you'd like to get. It's the Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award,
The Kid.
which is, hold on, it's an award that we give out to people whose acting range is that of a trash can full of dirt.
Not the one that went on to be in Jurassic Park, but the other one.
Which
the
kid?
baseball, or the basketball kid.
Yeah. Whatever.
You
wanna
mean
call his name?
Bobby Jacoby?
Yeah,
Sure,
Bobby
yeah.
Jacoby.
I only know that because I also have him written down as the
Oh.
trash can full of dirt. What do you
Okay,
got?
I don't like him,
Okay.
but I got to go with the dumbass on the trailer attire, dude.
Nestor,
Nestor.
Nestor's not great.
a solid pick.
It's a good pick.
A solid
He went down like a trash can.
He
Just
did.
Sucked through the hole.
Exactly. He was basically flushed into
Yeah,
the
he was
earth,
flushed,
so-
yes.
He really was. All right, but so a honorable mention for Nestor, but Bobby Jacoby with 3 votes is going to win the trash can full of dirt. Congratulations. I'm sure you're proud,
I
Bobby.
hated him more than the actual monster itself.
Me too. All right, the next one is subjective. So this doesn't necessarily mean who you thought gave the best performances, but who were your top 3 favorite performers in the movie. Joe, you got your top 3? We're going to start over here.
Yeah,
Who's your
yeah, start
3
over there.
favorite performances in the movie?
Not Rhonda.
Not Rhonda.
Not Rhonda.
No.
Anybody but Rhonda. I did like Kevin Bacon in it, even
Okay.
though he didn't really take it seriously. I still enjoyed his performance.
Yep.
Fred Earl.
Fred.
Heck yeah.
Fred Earl.
I liked the chemistry. Yeah, Fred Earl.
They were great together.
They were
Yeah.
great together. I thought that they worked really well. And then back to Michael Gross.
Michael Gross. All right. It's not too dissimilar from yours. So I had Kevin Bacon at number 3. I had Reba McEntire at number 2. It tickled me the way she was perfect for this.
She was lovely.
She was.
Yeah.
She
She was
was.
lovely.
And then I had Fred Ward number 1. He was my favorite performance in the whole movie. I really liked that character. Even because he seemed to be taking the movie, even though
And
he was kind of a
played it really
doofus.
well.
He played it well, and he seemed to not be hamming it up as much as Kevin, because Kevin was more like trying to save face for being in this Worm movie. So I'm going to be like, ooh, right?
Yeah.
Or he just played it straight, and I thought it was really good.
I went Fred Ward number 3.
Okay.
I went Reba McEntire number 2. And I went Michael Gross at number 1.
Michael Gross number 1. Nice.
I enjoyed his performance in this movie.
So was Michael Gross your number 1? Or who was your number
Yes,
one?
I didn't realize we were like
We are
rating them
ranking
that way.
them, yes.
So Michael Gross,
Look at that.
Fred Ward,
2 out of 3.
Kevin Bacon.
All right. How about for you, sir?
All right. I think it's going to go Michael Dan Wagner. That's old Fred
Old Fred.
that just left the head. His face was behind. He's my number 3.
His expression was very
Yep.
Lifelike.
it was impressive.
BB Besh.
Yeah.
Megan, the doctor's wife. The lady who gets inside.
Station wagon lady?
Station wagon lady. She just, a little
Knocked
tear.
it out
Just
of the park
knocked
for
it out
you,
of the
huh?
park. Yeah, really buried it.
And then the generator is number 3.
No, it would be Sunshine Parker. Edgar. Guy up in the utility. poles.
He didn't
Yep,
do
no.
anything.
I
He
think-
nailed it.
I'm pretty positive he was a wax figurine, but that's fine.
But that's fine. We've had inanimate objects get votes before, so it's all good.
Okay,
That's
we're
why I
good.
said the generator.
We got to ultimately come to a decision here, though. So there's a rating system that we have in place that nobody likes, but we're going to stick with it because that's what we do. So it's what we try to do here is take it objectively and subjectively. So is it a good movie? Full stop. Is it a bad movie? But it's like you enjoyed it, then it's a bad movie that rules, or is it just a straight up bad movie? It was bad and you didn't like it. What do you guys think?
Me?
Yeah.
It is straight up 100% good movie.
Good movie.
I've always enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not perfect. No movie is. But
Yeah.
for what it was worth, I loved it.
So you think it was objectively a good movie and you loved it?
I enjoy it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So
Should we do him last?
Let's do him last.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Steph.
yeah.
You first.
Oh, it's a good movie that
Straight
I
up.
loved.
Oh,
Straight
okay.
up
Yes.
good movie.
All right.
Yay.
All
James,
right.
what's your take on it?
So I'm going to say that it's a bad movie that rules.
Okay.
I think, and it rules a lot. I mean, I would watch it again. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. There's just some things about it, which I don't need to rehash. We've rehashed all of them already that keep it from being an objectively good film.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good myself.
See, I think it's though we've seen it since we were like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And
But I do think
wanna
it's
hear-
great. I really like it.
want to hear Kurt because his face
I-
is.
I have a little
lot.
thought, if you don't mind me.
Sure.
jumping
Go
on,
ahead.
just real quick
Have your
here.
thing.
I
Sure.
think also depending on what type of culture you were brought up in,
Yeah.
you can either what is that when you connect with something
Mhm,
more on a level. Like I said, if you were country folk, like this was, you got the jokes.
Yeah.
You understood what everything was.
Oh, sure.
The bulldozer, good bull. Oh, God, get
Yeah,
that,
oh, sure.
Then like that, like you can really connect with it. But
For
if
sure.
you didn't really understand that type of living where you're just on a dirt road and such, you maybe not to be insulting. It's not meant to be insulting, but maybe
No.
you're a little bit more of a city slicker. Maybe this wasn't quite the movie for you, and you didn't quite connect with it or something like that. I think
Yeah.
there was a little bit to play
Oh, I'm
with
sure.
that.
And that's what's beautiful about getting
Yeah.
4 people into a room is they all come from different places and have different opinions on this stuff.
I'm just wondering what me as a child connected with this movie.
Yeah, what was that connection
What
with?
was that?
I don't
The
know.
pogo stick.
It was
girl.
Kevin Bacon.
That's what connected.
It was Kevin Bacon in jeans is what it was.
and the
And
mullet.
picking his butt right in the
Taking
beginning.
his-
Yes,
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
great.
you gotta have faith. Oh wait,
That's right.
the
That's
wrong
different guy.
That's not Footloose.
All right, Kurt, let it out.
All right, so when I never had any sort of growing up with this movie.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I've watched it.
Great.
And when I watched it the first time, I was like, all right, I like when we watch these movies, I watch the first time with no thoughts. I just say, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to sit. I'm going to enjoy it. And then the second time I watch movies for notes.
Mm-hmm.
This time I watched this movie 3 times in about a week
Wow.
because the third time I enjoyed it.
It took all the way to
I'm
3.
going to tell you,
Yes.
this is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da, 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 ta-da,
Clang! Clang!
ta-da.
Thank you, Lord Farquaad. But no, I when I watched it the first time, I was like, okay, this is humorous, and it's funny because I got to share it with my daughter.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where,
Yeah, she's gonna grow up on Tremors.
Yeah.
and she wanted to watch something scary, so I'm like, you know what? I watched it the first time, and I'm like, okay, she can watch this. This is gonna be fine for her. And we watched it the second time, and she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
she was like, "This is a fun movie. Like, Dad, I like this movie." And I was like,
That's
"Yeah."
right.
There you
I was
go.
like, "There you go." I was like, "So now we have this like bond. So now I have a whole different like level of love for this movie." And then I watched it the third time and I took my notes. So I actually watched it twice, like just enjoying it.
That's
But,
why you
There you
had,
go.
that's why you had so many zingers on this one, because you just
I enjoyed watching
Holy
it.
cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Next time I'll bring notes.
No,
you did fine.
please
You did
don't.
Great, you did great.
But as far as like a bad movie that rules, that to me, sometimes some of these movies, that's the highest like honor it could get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is still a good movie. Like I enjoyed
So it's
it.
a good movie, full stop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
just want to make
There
sure.
you go. Fair enough. And next week, we're going to have another one here on the chopping block to talk about. And it's our first Chuck Norris movie we've ever done
I'm not here for that.
called Delta Force.
Oh, come on. I couldn't believe I didn't sign up for this one.
And Delta Force, I think I actually saw Delta Force 2 more often than I saw Delta Force 1. So I know very
Tell me-
little about it.
Tell me you have a list of Chuck Norris jokes you're going to go over.
Oh, well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe it's good that I'm not here.
I don't know
I
if
would have brought
I'm-
in the
here's the thing.
encyclopedia of Chuck
I'm
Norris
afraid
jokes.
to diss the movie. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Chuck Norris to be mad at me.
He will roundhouse kick you through the microphone.
That's what
I
I'm
was gonna
saying.
say Chuck Norris should have been in Tremors.
That would have been
He would have
incredible.
killed them all with his hands.
That's right. That's what I was hoping in Megalodon. Jason Statham would have just punched the Megalodon in the face, and
Yeah.
that would have been the
movie
end of it.
sucked.
Yeah,
Meg?
thank you. The Meg.
Oh,
Yeah, I never
it-
saw it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, join us next week for Delta Force. In the meantime, on behalf of Stephanie and Kurt and Joe, I'm James. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.
What did Hannibal?
Is the song?
Sorry. What does Hannibal Lecter eat for breakfast?
I don't know what.
People.
Kevin Bacon and John Hamm.
Thanks again for listening to Comedy by Indie Drop-In Network. If you would like to nominate a comedy podcast to be featured, just send me a tweet at Indie Drop-In. I'd also love to hear if one of our featured podcasts is now your favorite show. Indie Drop-In survives off ad revenue and listener donations. If you would like to contribute, please consider buying me a coffee. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Indie Drop-In. If you look at the very bottom of the episode description, you will see a link. Indie Drop-In has many other shows that you also might like. Just go to indiedropin.com. All right, we'll see you next week.